So I'm going to start by using the Camellia Rose Exfoliating Wash-Off Mask, which is in the spring box. And I do this mask 2 to 3 times a week. It doesn't really matter whether you do it in the morning or in the evening. It just depends on when I have the time. Usually during the days when I stealth mask, which means using a mask where you can't tell it's a mask, like Holy Lotus or Nourish Oil Mask. Just something that you can't tell because it's not like too far off from the color of your skin. So here is the consistency. See, it's not too thick, and you got to stir it because the clay settles at the bottom of the jar. So you want to make sure and give it a good stir. Hi, Pam. Okay, and I'm just gonna put some in the palm of my hand and use my middle finger to spread it around evenly. I need a little more. And while I'm doing this, I want to know what you guys are having for dinner or have had for dinner. Because we know it's always about food here. Something to fill in the time. Is this lighting working okay for you all too? Hi, Adeline. Pizza. You know, I usually don't go out of my way to eat pizza, but here lately I've been wanting pizza a lot, like crazy. Yeah, my husband's downstairs cooking dinner right now. He is cooking some cod fish. I don't know exactly how he's cooking it. I just picked some up from the store and said, here, I got cod. And he said, alright, I'll cook dinner. Alright, so I've got this mask evenly spread out, and you don't need a thick layer of this at all. I usually do thick layers of moisturizing masks, but with detox masks, like anything with clay in it, masks that are meant to draw stuff out from your skin, I don't usually do a thick layer. And I need a towel. That'll work. Oh, Gretchen, we love seafood here in this house. Gretchen says my hubby will not eat fish, let alone cook it. Oh, yeah. If we could afford it, just seafood is so expensive, even living coastal. If we could afford it, we'd eat seafood like every day. Okay, so now I've got this mask on, and now we're going to supercharge it. And in true Marissa fashion, we're going to supercharge it in a fancy wine glass. So, in the Supercharger Moisture Set, you get a full-size bottle of rose water, which is amazing. It hydrates your skin, it brightens your skin, it tones, it evens your skin tone, it tones. And then you get these compression masks that my babies keep wanting to eat because they think it's candy. So what this is a sheet mask. They're just compressed into these tiny sized pill-looking sheets, and you have to wet it so that it expands. It's like those cool like dinosaur capsules that you got when you were a kid. They were little capsules, and then you put them in water and they expanded into this sponge dinosaur. Yeah. Yes, do not eat the masks, please. Disclaimer, do not eat the masks. So I'm going to drop the mask into my glass, and then I'm going to pour some rose water over it. This is about 6 drops. I'm going to add more because I like it almost dripping. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. Oh, so I'm going to need a lot more than that. I'm going to flip it over. I'm probably up to about 30 or 40 drops now. But you can see that it's expanding. And voila. You have your sheet mask. And everybody's face is shaped differently, so if you feel like you need to cut it into the different sections of your face and place it there, then you can do that. I'm going to add a little bit more. It just got wet enough to expand, but I want to feel the liquid on my skin. Hello, Natalie. Alright, so this is enough. And so this was a full bottle. I have never used it before, and it's down to about there now. I hope that gives you guys an idea of how much I used. So I'm going to place this over my face. I don't know if you guys are into like breakdancing and dance crews, but every time I sheet mask, my kids ask me why I'm dressed like the Jabberwockies. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but yeah. They're actually a mostly Asian dance crew out in Vegas. Can I just pour the rose water onto the mask? Do I need a glass? You can pour it on. Yeah, I just didn't want it to drip everywhere, and I was just using the glass for dramatic effect. But usually I just have it in the palm of my hand and drip, drip, drip slowly until it's as saturated as I want it to be. Okay, now if you're like me and you have a face where masks don't like to stay on your face, I got this little doodad from Daiso, and I know not everybody has a Daiso, but if you have like a Japanese market or something, they might have these in the beauty section, or you can look for them online. It's just a silicone sheet mask, and it's got little ear grabby thingies. So, and I wash this with warm water and soap, and then you can spray it with isopropyl alcohol after to disinfect it. I like to put this on top and clip it behind my ear. There we go. There, and I look super creepy, and my babies look at me all funny, but as soon as they hear me talk, they're not scared anymore. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of my video with this on. I hope it's not too distracting. But how perfect to do a supercharge with rose water and Camellia Rose. So now I'm going to talk about what I would normally put on after. Let me just sanitize my spatula with my handy dandy alcohol. I am not a fast enough runner to rob a bank. Quinley just suggested that I can go rob a bank now. Actually, if I could choose any superhero power, it would be supersonic speed, because there are just so many things that I want to do and learn and try, and there's not enough time in life to do it all. So if I could choose one superpower, it would be that. Supersonic speed. Rush through the things I don't want to do so that I could take the time with the things I do want to do. Robbing a bank isn't one of them, by the way. Okay. So now, after I would rinse off this mask, I would go on and follow it with a swipe of Beauty Water just to make sure I got everything off. So here's my trusty tea tree Beauty Water. And then after that, I would do another swipe with the Maple Essence Toner to get some of the residue from the Beauty Water off. It doesn't matter if it stays on your skin. I know some people don't like the stickiness or the residue that the Beauty Water may leave. And then I'll go with Maple Essence Toner again and pat it onto my skin. Just like that. And then I would follow it with my usual Asian Powerhouse Serum and Marine Serum. And if my acne is bad, I'll put a little bit of tea tree and volcanic ash in between these two. Natalie said I missed so much. You didn't miss much. I just put a mask on. And it's the Supercharger set, so I have a sheet mask underneath, saturated with rose water, and then I put a silicone mask on top just to keep the mask on my face because sheet masks don't like to stay on my face. And then I would do some peat serum to get some extra purging action going on. Hearts for Pete. Pete's a popular guy. We all like Pete. And Carol's boyfriend, Dorian Gray. Jealous. And then after that, I would put on some Blush Beauty Oil. Just to make sure that I really keep all that moisture in there, because masking with clay really will suck everything out, and you want to make sure that you're replenishing your oils with another oil. And I have oilier skin, but this Blush Beauty Oil is so good for your skin, especially if you have oily skin, because the rose in here will help tone. The Camellia Japonica oil in here is skin identical, so it absorbs so quickly. And your skin will feel that it's hydrated and moisturized enough to where you're not overcompensating and creating more oil, thus clogging your pores and looking like a giant grease ball on your face. And then after that, depending on what my skin is feeling like, if I'm a little drier or if my heater is on, I'll do donkey cream. But if it's a little bit warmer and I feel like I'm producing a little bit more oil, I'll use camel milk cream. I just feel like camel milk is a little bit of a drier moisturizer, and donkey cream has more moisture in it. They're both okay for oilier skins. It's just sometimes I feel like I need less moisture than other times. Tonight I'll probably use the donkey cream because we had to turn the heat back on. Because the weather is being kind of crazy. It's like going back and forth, and I don't really know what to expect. Sometimes I turn the heater on at night because I'm freezing, and then I wake up and I'm hot. I don't know if everyone else around the country is experiencing that or not. See, so Madeline is asking, so the rose water is different from the beauty water, correct? Yes, Madeline. So rose water is basically the distilled water. I think I'm explaining this right. So it's the condensation that is collected from boiling rose petals. It's not the actual water that the rose petals are being boiled in, but it's the condensation collected. So it's that. Adeline, help me out here. And beauty water has micellars in it, so it's basically kind of like a little bit of cleanser in your water. It's got the cells in it that will help. It's kind of like soap, but it's not soap. It's cleansing, basically, and the rose water doesn't have the cleansing cells in there. The question was the difference between rose water and and beauty water. And I said that beauty water was the condensation from boiled rose petals. It's like the distilled condensation collected from the rose petals. It's not the actual water that the rose petals are in. Is that right? And I think the vodka has something to do with it too. I'm not sure. I don't want to give like wrong information out there. So if you could correct me, Adeline. Okay, let's see. I keep sniffing and then sniffing the mask into my nose. Okay, that silicone mask is amazing. Do they come decorated? I would totally buy a sugar skull one. And that is a very good question. I've never seen a decorated one, and I would totally buy a sugar skull one too, but I've only seen like white and pink, unfortunately. Okay, Adeline says, no, my explanation was completely wrong. Okay. Natalie, can I charge the sheet mask using other kinds of beauty water, or should it always be rose water? It should be rose water because rose water and beauty water are two different things. Beauty water has the micellars in it, which is a cleanser, and rose water does not. Adeline says rose water is just rose hydrosol, water condensation from creating rose essential oil. Beauty water has rose hydrosol in it, as well as lavender hydrosol and a ton of other stuff. And Madeline's saying we can decorate the masks with permanent markers. They'll wash off. They will definitely wash off. I was close, right, Adeline? I was close with my explanation. I got the condensation part right. Okay, so where did I leave off? Oh, yes, the moisturizer. So tonight I'm probably going to use Donkey Cream because my heater's on, and it's a little drier in my house. And then I will follow that with the Donkey Milk Sleeping Pack, which I am almost out of in this container. I still have some in my fridge. So yeah, Donkey Milk Sleeping Pack will go on top to pack everything in there and treat my skin while I sleep, and everything will be all nice and lovely. I did not bring anything here to wash this off my face. Let's see how this looks. Normally I would keep this on for like 30 minutes to an hour, but it's kind of creeping me out right now, so looking at myself is creeping me out. Oh, I could just actually use this to wipe it all off. That's pretty convenient. Alright. So let's just say I rinsed the mask off, and then I would follow with everything that I just said. So, rinse the mask off, then follow with a swipe of beauty water to make sure all of the residue is gone. Swipe with maple essence toner to make sure doubly that all of the residue is gone, and then pat some maple essence toner in to condition your skin for maximum absorption of all the other products. Then I would follow it with Asian Powerhouse and Tea Tree and Volcanic Ash and Marine. Then I would go to my boys, Pete and Dorian Gray. If you had to choose to go on a date with Pete or Dorian Gray, who would it be? And then I would follow with Blush Beauty Oil. And then, oh, I forgot. Anti-aging eye gel oil. I forgot about this. Yes, definitely need the eye gel oil because I am trying to prevent deeper wrinkles around my eye area. And then I would follow it with my Donkey Cream. And then, where did I just put my Donkey Milk? And then Donkey Milk, wherever that just went. Oh, here it is. Donkey Milk. And that would be my regimen. I'm going to scroll back up to look at comments. Natalie asked if Daiso has it. Yes, they do. Daiso has the silicone mask, and they have big bags of compression masks too. So when you run out of your compression masks from the Supercharge Your Moisture kit, you can get more at Daiso. Rachel says Dorian for a more luxurious date. I see Pete as more of a beer guy and Dorian Gray as more of like a wine guy. What do you guys think? I guess it just depends on whether I want pizza or gourmet. I mean, but you can have pizza and wine too. I have it all the time. Okay, if there are no more questions, I'm gonna go on and help finish with dinner. If you're catching the replay, thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and invite all of your friends to join our group because we're awesome. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to our channel where we have tons of other videos for you to watch, probably about everything that you wanted to know about sabbatical beauty. So that was my week 4 regimen, and happy Sunday, y'all. I will see you guys next week with the last week of reviews. Bye!